Folks, welcome back. Pat Flynn. We got the Hebrew hammer himself, Aleks Salkin, joining us. I have a weighted vest on. I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. I am wearing this religious garment. Religious for what, you ask? For the God of the gains. And we're going to be experiencing his many graces in this particular video. Why is that? We're going to be covering one of the most requested exercises, bodyweight exercises, and that would be, of course, none other than the pistol squat. So the pistol squat is the one-legged squat, and if you subscribe to the old Pat Flynn show, the podcast, then you will know that today we uploaded an episode where Aleks and I talked for some considerable length on the benefits of the pistol squat and some progressions. There's only one problem with the podcast. You can't actually see anything. So we figured as a complement to that, we would demonstrate some of the progressions, demonstrate the exercise, help you get it right, help you to nail this exercise. It's a great exercise, right?
Yeah,
I'd say
so.
What's so great about it? Well, it's great. I know you wanted to talk.
I want you to go first, and then I'll toss in my own.
Spencer's on.
Point.
Spencer, come get some shawarma with us, my friend.
How you doing, Doc?
It's been too long. Folks, let us know what you're eating and drinking. The pistol squat, why is it a great exercise? Well, you can do it anywhere, but it's one of the best ways to build strength in the lower body. We can use it for performance, we can use it for aesthetics, we can use it for mobility. It's both a great demonstration of strength, mobility, all that. But it's not just a demonstration. It is also a developer. It's an exercise that we can use to build all of these attributes. What would you add?
Well, I would also add that in terms of mobility, it's a really great show of having proper mobility in all the lower body joints and the ability to express strength within that mobility.
That's it. That's beautiful. All right, if you want more details about the benefits to the pistol, why you should do it, if you need to be sold on doing pistols, listen to the podcast. We want to get into the action. So part of the reason I have a weighted vest on, this is going to come into play as we talk about some of the progressions. Why don't we just demonstrate the exercise first and just, what is a pistol squat? What does it look like? What should it look like? We will be making aesthetic judgments, maybe even some moral judgments on the exercise.
Definitely moral ones.
You want to show them? You want me to show them? I haven't done it with this. This is like a 40-pound vest, so and we're live. So if I mess up, there's no editing.
You.
Let's have you go first. Let me try one on the side here.
Sure, sounds good.
I can do it.
Well, I have to double check. Is there going to be enough? Are people going to be able to see it, or is it going to be?
Can you see it? Can everyone see it? Give it like a thumb if you can see us. I think.
Okay, there we go. That should do it. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's lightweight.
Lightweight, baby.
That's lightweight. Let's see it. Alex's is prettier than mine. I can easily admit that.
All
right. So I'm going to talk some points. You demonstrate. So the pistol, as you saw, was a one-legged exercise. So we're moving through a full range of motion on one leg, and yeah, give the man some thumbs up and some hearts. That's it. And he's just gonna crank these out. Notice the free leg extends out in front. This is a counterbalance. The heel is planted. The back in the pistol very likely will not be flat. And that's okay, especially when we're not doing it with load. So rounded back, butt wink in this exercise is not only acceptable, it's pretty much expected. As you can see, there's a lot of motor control, stability, coordination. He's not bouncing up and down out of the exercise. He's controlling through the entire range of motion. What do you guys think? Has Aleks got a pretty good pistol squat? Give him some likes and some hearts. Regular old pistolero. Peggy, what's up? How's everyone doing? All right, very good. Any other points that I'm missing? You can do another rep.
Do it, my man. As far as other points,
they're fun.
They're a lot of fun.
They're fun. It's one of those nice exercises. You're by the pool. You just want to show people you can do something cool.
Maybe get some phone numbers.
Get some phone numbers. I want to get a little closer as we're talking. How's the audio? Is it okay when we? Hey Peggy, how are you? When we're farther away. So that's what the pistol should look like. Now let's talk about the big question. How do we get there? What are some progressions that we can use to begin to develop this movement? So it really depends where you're coming from, as with most progressions. So we'll kind of throw a bunch out there. Pardon the truck. We'll throw a bunch out there and explain in what instances these might be useful. For example, where should we start?
Well, number one, you're not going to go too far if you don't have good balance on one leg. So any exercises like single leg deadlift or step ups or anything that's going to require you to balance on one leg is going to go a long way in helping make sure that you're properly prepared for the progressions. So from there, another good thing to do would be getting comfortable at both the top position as well as the bottom position and just kind of hanging out there, and then later on we can fill in the blanks with some of these other progressions.
So I like to start with some concentric reps and some eccentric reps just to kind of see where we're at. These can be helpful assessment device to see, okay, maybe balance is the issue, maybe strength is the issue. So let's show a few variations there. One, just to assess pure strength and stability, is to just try and perform the concentric. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Maybe Alex can give a few pointers as I'm moving through it. So pretty close squatting stance. We get as low as we can, right? So already I'm going to know if I have a mobility limitation with this move. And it's important when we're progressing through exercises that we figure out what the limitation is. Is it strength? Is it mobility? Is it motor control? Is it purely mechanical? Some people just aren't going to have the levers necessary to do the pistol squat. We'll talk about that maybe or maybe not. We'll see. So I can come down, full squat, kick a leg out, and then let's see if I have the strength to get back up. Turns out, you got it. I got it. We could also do the reverse and test how is my coordination, stability, or motor control just on the way down. Maybe I didn't have the strength on the way up. That's a good first test. Let's see if I can do it on the way down.
So on the way down, one of the important things to keep in mind is that you want to make sure that you are not just falling into it. So a common thing that you'll see a lot of people do the first time they try to do a pistol is they'll drop into it and then they find they can't get back up. Because what they're trying to do is they're just trying to use the bounce to get them out of the sticking point. The bottom part is the hardest, and typically by the time you can get to what we would call parallel, which is where your hip and knee, or the crease in your hip as well as your knee, are in more or less the same position, or meaning the same line. That's where things tend to get a little bit easier. So it's also not uncommon for people to shortchange themselves. You want to make sure that you can really control the entire length of the exercise, and there's a very easy way to do it, which is, as Pat was pointing out, what we would call the negative. So what you would do for that is you want to make sure that when you're here, you're not just yielding to gravity and trying to, let's say, fall with style, right, to quote Buzz Lightyear. What you want to do instead is you want to tighten everything up. So I always start with glute, right? I'll try to tighten up the hamstring, kind of like I'm going to curl my leg up like this, and then I will imagine that there are rubber bands underneath my armpits, and I'll pull myself down to the bottom and hold, just like that, okay? Now from there, you can get up any which way you need, take time, take a little bit of a rest break if necessary, do it on the opposite leg, or you can do a few in a row in a singles type fashion, meaning you just do one, shake it out a little bit, get your wits about you, and then repeat that process on the same leg, right? Maybe you take a little bit longer break in between legs, but it's a very good way to start building up that necessary strength for you to be able to do the concentric.
Christine says I look like Steven Seagal.
Oh, that's
but then
great.
she said she's not sure that's a compliment.
Well, that does sound like Christine, so.
It does. Sounds exactly like what I would expect my wife to say. Is this helpful so far, folks? Is this making sense? So we're starting to kind of break down and both progress and toward the exercise while assessing where we're kind of at in that chain of progressions. For a lot of people, just those two will be enough. If your issue is strength, maybe a little bit of stability, the concentric reps, the eccentric reps can really fill those gaps pretty quickly. But maybe we need a little bit more help along the way. Maybe we need some other form of assistance or regression to help us along. So why don't we show assisted pistols with a partner? And this is a great one because even if you don't have a partner, even if you don't have any friends in the world, you can find some type of inanimate object to be your friend that you can use to assist you through the exercise, like a pole or a door frame. But I do have a friend. I have a best friend.
A very best friend.
And after this video, we're going to hold tryouts for somebody to be in our circle of very best friends. So I want you to stay tuned for that. That's going to be a special video. But for now, we're going to show you the best friend pistol squat assist. This is a patented progression. All right, you're going to do it. I'm going to stand up. Because best friends let best friends do pistols first.
Absolutely. Let's do this. We're going to do the Seagal handshake.
So very simply, my job is to give Alex the least amount of assistance he needs, and only where he needs it to perform the exercise. That's really important. Helping him as minimally as necessary.
Right, and my job is to make sure that my free leg doesn't go up too high as I'm standing up.
Yeah, I'll stand slightly to the side there.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to apply everything that we did previously. So tighten up here, get your abs tight, tuck your tail under a little bit, and you're going to pull yourself down. Let's say I need a little bit more help.
I'll stabilize him where he needs it,
right,
but just the least amount.
Exactly. Now the other thing too is that you don't want to be back here. This isn't like, you know, I don't really know what you'd even compare that to, but there's no way you're going to stand up from this position. You want to try to keep your chest almost like you're trying to get it over the top of your foot. The farther back it is, the less likely it is that you're going to be able to stand up, okay? So then from here, I'm going to pull and use just enough help from my hands to get me to stand up. And the really important thing here is when I say just enough, is that the focus has to be on all of these muscles pushing my foot through the ground, okay? So the hands are there to help me to stabilize, to make up for a little bit of any strength deficit that I might have in the leg. It's not to pull me up. This is not a back exercise where you're trying to do a pull-up, all right?
Let's show the counterbalance one now.
Sure.
So what Alex is going to demonstrate next, you may actually have the strength for the pistol. You may even have the stability, but you just might not have the mechanics. You might be mechanically disinclined to pistols, your limb length, your femur to torso ratio. For some people, it's just hard to do a pistol mechanically. It's not something that you can fix short of major surgery. Certainly could consider that option if the pistol is that important to you. I would say just hold something out in front most of the time.
Cheaper.
We're not going to fail you on that if you need to do that. So, want to demonstrate? We'll
Yep.
talk through. So the idea of this is we're using some type of object, and typically a light kettlebell will do the trick, as a counterbalance, just to help make sure that we don't fall on our butts or our back throughout the pistol. So if you figure that balance, or if you think you've got some mechanical disadvantages, that it's not a strength issue, it's not a mobility issue, it's just my body is just not suited for pistol squats, this can be a great way to help with that.
Certainly. All right. So one thing that's going to be important is the position that you've got your body in to begin with. So one of the things that, especially if you're using a counterbalance, what you don't want to have happen is that you start off going down like you would for a regular squat and then tucking your tail under when you need to, because it's tough on the back, and particularly if you've got a weight, it's just really going to amplify the way that it feels in your low back. Now you may not get injured, but it'll certainly get very tight. It's going to be pretty uncomfortable probably for a few days, and that's weak because you're not going to be able to practice pistols, and this is a movement you should be able to practice daily. So you want to pick it up safely, get it into position, okay, and then the next thing that you're going to do, tuck the tail under, tighten up the abs, get your glutes tight, and you're going to pull down. You're going to use as much of a counterbalance as you need, okay? So you might be here, might be there, maybe just here, okay? And then you're going to stand back up, and you repeat on the other side. But the big thing to keep in mind is that how far out it goes might change throughout the movement. It's a counterbalancing exercise, so if you're using an appropriately sized kettlebell, getting it a little further out shouldn't turn it into an upper body exercise.
Great. All right, folks, we are going to leave it there. Of course, there are always more progressions and regressions and things like that we can get into, and we will. But, be sure you are on the old email list and in the Strong On Facebook group. We're going to be starting a new series all on the bodyweight exercises, pistol squats, pull-ups, muscle-ups, handstands, handstand push-ups. So if you want in on the goodness, join the Strong On Facebook group, get on the email list, because we've got a lot of tutorials coming, and then of course, it's all culminating in the Bodyweight Strong On Challenge. We're combining kettlebells and bodyweight for the big challenge this summer. It's going to be awesome. You too can look like Steven Seagal. We'll post the links below. If you found this video, please like it, share it. We'll catch you next time.
Adios.